Hello, welcome to Verbling. Hi there, I'm teacher Oakley, and for the next hour we are going to be exploring the wonders of grammar. Okay, specifically we are looking at the present continuous verb tense, how it is formed and its uses. Okay, I will be talking to you about those things, and then I will have you students will be practicing forming your own sentences to reflect the examples of the different uses of this verb tense. Today, present continuous verb tense. Tomorrow at the same hour, by the way, I should mention, we'll look at the past continuous, and the next day, the following day, at the same hour here on Verbling, we'll be looking at the future continuous verb tense. But we will start in the present. Okay, so let me welcome students to the class. Tatiana, how are you?
Hello, teacher. I'm fine, thanks. And you?
Good. Thanks. Nice to see you again. Nice to have you with us. Okay, and Santiago is also with us. Hello, Santiago.
Hello, Oakley. Hello, everyone. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking.
Cool. Nice to have you with us as well. And Joel is here. Hello, Joel.
I'm
Hi.
fine, thanks. Good day to learn some English.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That you gave me a flashback of Die Hard. You know the Die Hard movies?
Yes, I know.
It's a good day to learn English. Okay,
Yes.
it's a good day to look at verb tenses. Yeah, okay. All right, well, let's just go ahead and do that then. All right, I'm going to do a screen share and talk to you guys a little bit about the present continuous verb tense. And then we'll talk about uses, and you guys can try forming your own examples, sentences. All right. First of all, the form. What does it look like? It is consists of, it is the verb to be, the form dependent, of course, on subject-verb agreement on how you need to conjugate the verb. I am, he, she, or it is, they, and we, and you are. And then the present participle of the verb. The present participle of the verb is the base verb, okay, plus, well, not vern, sorry, the base verb plus ing is the present participle. Okay, so there it is. So what does it look like? Like this. You, subject noun, are watching. Verb construction, TV, the object noun, in a very simple example. That is it. In a question, as in all questions, actually, the the first auxiliary or helper verb, this verb to be here, is known as an auxiliary. It assists the main verb. It helps to convert the main verb, of course, to show that it is present continuous. So the first auxiliary is always transposed or reversed with the subject noun. Are you watching TV? And in the negative, notice placement of not, which is an adverb, will follow the first auxiliary. That first auxiliary is pivotal. Literally, things pivot around it. So in a negative, you are not watching TV. Now, it is possible to form a contraction from you are, your, okay, which would look like this, your, You're not watching TV. That's perfectly normal to use that. It is also perfectly normal and acceptable to use a contraction of are and not. You aren't watching TV. Whatever you feel like is perfectly normal. Probably more often than not, English speakers tend to use the contraction with the negative, not. When speaking, I highly advise you to practice and try to use the contracted forms, not full forms. Frankly, in speaking and all speaking, I'm talking about conversational speaking, more formal speaking, any speaking, it sounds a little weird and a little too formal to use full form. In writing, however, writing is by nature a little bit more formal. If you're doing formal writing, formal business writing, academic writing, what have you, then I would recommend that you do use the full forms and not the contractions. Okay, now the fun part, the uses of the present continuous. The first use, and probably the most simple to understand, means now, as in now, as in the second right now. As in, I am speaking to you now. I am speaking. Yes, I am. Okay. Perhaps the action is started a little while ago and will continue into the future. Perhaps it's right this second. Okay. Now. Or conversely, of course, with a negative, it can show that something is not happening right now. Now. I keep saying now for a reason, because in English, now has the now meaning, the right this second. But in English, when you consider grammar, you also have to think about sometimes now is a wider meaning. We'll get to that in a little bit. But let's first start off with the now. You are learning English now, right now. You are not swimming now. The possible exception of Santiago seems to be by the pool. But for the most part, you are not swimming now. You aren't swimming now. Are you sleeping? Right now? Okay. I am sitting. I am not standing. All right. All right. These are all referring to something going on at this very second. They aren't watching television. Okay. Just to make sure, what are you doing? Why aren't you doing your homework? Okay. What are you doing? All right. When people say this very common question, they're actually asking, what are you doing right now? Sometimes they actually say, what are you doing right now? Are you busy right now? What are you doing? Why aren't you doing your homework? Many a mother has said that. Okay, let's practice forming a sentence about right now, right this second now. Let me quickly welcome Nader to the class. Hello. Welcome. Hello. And now, all right, let's practice talking about right here now, right this second. Tatiana, what is going on right now?
I'm here.
Okay.
Spencer. A question.
Nope. Do whatever you like. When it comes to your turn to practice forming a sentence which will reflect the use we're looking at, do whatever you're comfortable with. Are you comfortable with a simple sentence, simple positive sentence? Would you like to try something a little bit more difficult? Whatever you're up for, Tatiana. You want to try a question? Try a question. You want to try a negative? Try a negative. Whatever.
I'm sitting at the computer. It's a computer.
Okay. All right. I'm sitting at the computer. Whoa. Why is that? What happened there? Oopsie. Okay. The wrong spot here. All right. Pretty straightforward. Very good. Obviously you are, because you're talking to me. All right. Simple and straightforward. Okay. And oh dear me. Okay. We've had a new student join the class, and I'm sorry I haven't seen you in a couple 3 weeks. Sorry, I'm getting old. Hello. Welcome to the class.
That's
Eliana?
supposed to be me.
Eliana? Eliana?
Yes.
Yes.
Hello, her.
Okay, came back to me. All right. Hi, Eliana. How are you?
Okay.
It's been a while.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was.
Yeah. All right. Welcome back. Good to see you. So
Thank you.
hang on for a moment. I'll get to you in just a second. All right. Santiago, can you try forming a sentence to express the idea of right now, this second?
Okay. For example, I'm learning a new English class right now.
Okay, and you're actually using right now to express that. But okay, let's look at this a little closer though. I'm learning a new English class. Are you really learning an English class? Not really. You're not learning a class. If I get rid of the if I was to get rid of the adjectives here, all right, new in English, I'm learning a class. You can't learn a class. You can learn. You can learn how to sew. You can learn a language. You can learn, but you can't learn a class. A class is a physical thing. That's like learning a pencil. That doesn't make sense. All right.
I mean, I wanted to say that I was learning a new topic in a new class or something.
Well, there
like that.
you go. All right. See now you're talking. I'm learning a new topic in a
an
new
English class.
Okay, instead of new, in an English class right now. There you go. Much better. Okay. There you go. All right. Great. All right. Zsolt, give this a try.
Yes. I am not running in the forest because I am learning English now.
Okay. All right. Hang on. Sorry. All right. Okay. I am not running. What are you doing? I
am learning English now.
Oh, yeah. That's right. I forgot. Okay. There you go. All right. Now, all right. Now, this is interesting. He's got two parallel actions. We'll talk about that more a little bit later in the class as well. One which he is not doing and one which he is doing. Both right this second. Very good. Excellent. Nice job. Nader, do you want to try a sentence? Oh, I can't see you over there. You're on the far left of the page, and when you type in the Hangouts box, half your sentence gets cut off. Sorry. Couldn't see that. Okay, thank you very much. Are you drinking something right now? No, not right now, because I'm talking. Are you drinking something right now? Okay. Okay, that works. All right, Ileana, give it a try. We're looking at the use of the present continuous to express the idea of right at this very second.
Oh, yeah. It shouldn't be personal, yes? So I just can say that.
Doesn't.
It's raining. It's raining there outside right now in neighborhood, or it's better to
Mhm.
say my settlement. So yes,
Well, that's it.
raining.
Okay,
It's raining
that,
outside. Yeah.
that's all you really need to say, and that expresses the idea that this action is happening at the moment. Okay, and to some degree, it's implied here because we know rain doesn't happen in an instant. It's also implied that this is a longer action in progress now. Aha! So nice segue, Eliana. Thanks for the segue. Okay.
You're welcome.
So, as many times will happen, very often we use a verb tense and more than one use is being covered, shall we say, at the same time. You're doing more than one thing at a time. She's maybe, okay, it's raining outside is right this very second, and possibly it is also a longer action in progress now. As I was saying earlier, in English, now can mean this split millimicrosecond. It can also mean today, this month, this year, this century. It's all relative. It's all relative to what context you're putting it into. Relative to the age of the Earth, this century is pretty now. Okay. We use the present continuous often to say we're in the process of doing a longer action somewhere in progress. We might not even be doing it at this very second. Maybe we do it and stop, but do it and stop, and do it and stop. But it's a longer process is the key. And so you're doing it now. You're somewhere in the middle of this process. For example, as we look at these examples, keep in mind that all of these sentences could be said while you're eating dinner in a restaurant with someone. So you're talking to them and you're eating your food. All right. I am studying to become a doctor. Obviously, you're not doing it at a table in a restaurant. All right. I'm not studying to become a dentist. Very common use of present continuous to talk about a good book that you're reading. I'm currently reading the book Tom Sawyer, for example, to say you're somehow in the middle of it. Yeah, okay. I just noticed, Nader, you're asking about segue, but it's not segue like that. I think that's some kind of a game. Different spelling. Segue is spelled like this, but it's pronounced like the same. It's a homophone, segue. A segue is kind of a sometimes even accidental, like in the case of Ileana more or less introducing the next topic or the next use. Sometimes it's accidental, sometimes it's planned, but a bridge to get from one thing to another, one topic to another, or in entertainment, like in the entertainment program, they often use some kind of bridging phrase to get from one act to another, from the juggler to the singer to the comedian. They segue from one performance to another. They have to find some way to bridge it. Okay, back to present continuous here. Okay, are you working on any special projects at work? Okay, very common to ask a question about projects. Obviously, projects are something that take time. They're not split-second actions. To ask about your work. Aren't you teaching at the university now? Oh, all right. Things like that. Are you building your new house now? Okay, let's try this out. Get the idea of the longer now. Let's try it again. Tatiana, can you start us off here?
I am driving a car this summer, this year.
Okay, wait a minute. I am driving a car.
Yeah.
Okay, now wait a minute. Okay, you got to be a little careful. This, all right. You can say, for example, I'm learning to drive a car. That would be,
Yes. Learning.
all right.
Yes.
That would be very understandable that you're going through a process. But driving a car, in fact, could be a completely continuous action that you did not stop doing. So this could be a little bit confusing. One could imagine that you have been inside your car for a year and you eat your dinner at drive-up McDonald's and you have not got out of your car and you have some kind of special device to go to the bathroom in your car. It's a little scary, Tatiana. So, yeah, you got to be a little bit careful. I am driving a car this year. Sounds a little strange. Okay. So, definitely this would
I'm
get
learning. I'm learning
to drive.
Yes.
There we go. Now that's it. Okay. And now this time phrase isn't confusing on the end here. It's very obvious. Okay. It takes a while to learn to drive a car. It makes sense. Okay. Santiago.
Okay. I have been learning English for the last 2 years.
Okay. Santiago. You're getting way ahead of the class. Santiago, you're like a week in the future. Next week, we will be learning about perfect tenses. Actually, you're 2 weeks in the future. You've got this here is present perfect, have been, okay, present perfect continuous. You're actually 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, my series on verb tenses will get to present perfect continuous.
Okay. Let me try another one.
Okay. Sure. Your sentence is correct, by the way. It's completely correct with the use of this phrase for the last 2 years. Perfect sentence.
I have another one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I'm working in a project for the next course.
What was the last part? For
the next course.
Okay, I guess. Not sure what you mean, but yeah, that's okay. I'm working in a project. One small change, Santiago. You work on a project.
On a project, okay.
Yeah. You work in a group, but you work on a project. I'm working on a paper. I'm working, yeah. All right, you work on something. But that's, okay, that's the idea of the longer now. Sure. Okay, Jolt, give me an example of the longer now.
I am hiking on the longest route in the country this week.
All right. Okay. Now, okay. Now, if you said this to me on a mountaintop, if we're both high in the mountains, then this would absolutely be very easy to see as the longer based now, as in the diagram here. Okay? But if you say this to me now online, and I know you're on your computer, are you on a mountaintop somewhere?
Sorry, I am not.
Okay. I would, hearing it in this context, just because where we are, all right, I would assume that this is another segue to talk about the near future, all right? As a
Okay.
listener, I would assume that you're talking about, oh, that's great. Oh, good for you. I hope you enjoy it. I'm sure it will be fun for you. I would use future tense with you to talk about it. Okay. Depends. Okay, here the meaning, it would depend on the context, where and when you actually said it. All right. Fair enough, though. Midair. You want to give this a try? Midair, are you there? We often use, by the way, we often use currently to talk about these. Oh, okay, there's a good one. Ah, that's a very good one. Yes, okay, great. I'm having an issue with Paul. Okay, this is a great one. Okay. It's a great one because it co-locates with his object noun, issue. An issue is a problem that usually goes on and on over a period of time. So, yeah, it would be very normal to say, I have a problem with Paul, present simple tense. That co-locates, okay, problems happen, bam. Issues tend to stretch out over time, so it works better to say, I'm having an issue with Paul. I like that. Okay. You're in the middle of some kind of problem or conflict. Okay. That's good. All right, Ileana, you want to give this a try?
Yeah. I'm planning my schedule for this week. No, I'm planning. Not thinking.
I thought you said thinning.
I'm planning. I'm
Okay.
planning my schedule for this week. So.
Okay. I'm just going to leave that there, though, because I thought it was really neat. Hang on.
So it's better to say that I'm thinking of my schedule.
No.
Okay.
I just liked it because I think it's a very unusual use of this verb. I thought that you were doing, so I just wanted to introduce it.
Thinning.
Yeah, I just wanted
know
to.
What a translation.
That's what I thought. I thought people wouldn't even know what this means. Because you could say this. I'm thinning my schedule for this week. Actually, this would, I know it's not what you said, but it would have made sense, so I just thought I'd introduce it to the class.
Yeah.
An interesting piece of vocabulary. You can thin your schedule. Absolutely. It means you're canceling some of your appointments, maybe some unimportant things. You're just taking them out of your schedule.
Okay.
Oh, I've been feeling really sick, so I'm thinning my schedule for this week. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
That would actually make sense. As does, I am planning my schedule for this week. Okay. All right. That could be an action that takes a little bit of time. It takes me a little bit of time, that's for sure, to do my scheduling for the week. Yeah. All right. That makes sense. Okay. Let's move on to what Joel kind of introduced us to. I kind of thought maybe he was talking about he's doing this in the near future. Yes, we can use present continuous tense to talk about the future. And it'll sort of similarly to the way that we use simple future tense. Let's be more specific. Okay, something will or will not happen in the near future. Okay, there's another part of that. You're talking about your intention. Okay, when we use simple future tense, we generally, there are two forms, will verb, or am going to verb. We generally use am going to verb if it's a plan and if it's a scheduled, thought about plan. present continuous tense is kind of the same. You might say it's an intention. You've thought about it before. You've given it some thought. You're not just saying something in the future right now. You didn't just think of it. It is an intention. It's kind of a plan. When to use present continuous, when to use a future tense? Well, I think the key words here are the near future. Okay. For example, I'm meeting with some friends after work. Well, this is your intention or your plan for the very near future, in a few hours. I'm not going to the party tonight. Okay, that's your plan, your intention for later this evening. Is he visiting his parents next weekend? Isn't he coming with us tonight? All right. The idea is generally it's going to be in the near future. How near? Don't really know. There's no specific answer to that. A week? A couple weeks? I'm not sure. But definitely not 5 million years in the future. Definitely not. All right, let's try this out. Talk about something that will or will not happen. An intention is the idea, kind of a plan. Not a guess. This is not about making a prediction. You can't use present continuous if it's clearly about making a prediction. Okay. Tatiana, let's try this out. See if you got the idea.
Are you going to yoga in the evening?
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Are you going to yoga in the evening? All right. You might, just to make it clearer, you might add yoga class, but
Okay.
actually many times, quite honestly, Tatiana, in conversational English, not good. In writing, you would definitely put class, all right, to make it clear. In conversational English, it might be quite normal to drop class. It's actually very normal to say that. You assume the listener knows what you're talking about. All right, Santiago, can you give this a try?
Okay, for example, my mother is visiting me next week.
Perfect. Okay. Great. It's very straightforward. That's it right there. Great. Yeah, Joel, you want to give this a try? Talking about the near future intentions or plans.
Okay. I am going to work tomorrow morning by bike.
Okay. Now, at first glance, this looks like that Joel has created a simple future tense verb, but it's not actually. It's not, because work here is a noun, all right, and this is actually to work. This is actually a prepositional phrase. Okay, so it is not I'm going to work with no clothes on tomorrow. That would be different. That would be future tense. I'm going to work with no clothes on. He's talking about actually going. Okay. It looks like future tense, but it's not. It is actually present continuous tense. Okay, to show what his plan is to get to work tomorrow. That's fine. All right. Midair. You have an example we can look at the future. Is there any difference between I am traveling to Slovakia next month and I will travel to Slovakia next month? Okay, good question. Hang on. Excuse me while I sneeze.
Bless you.
Thank you very much, Joel. Gold star for you. Very good. Yes, there is a difference. What is the difference? Okay, Nidair, I am traveling to Slovakia next month. It shows that that's my intention or my plan. If I say I will travel to Slovakia next month, it shows that this is a prediction. I'm making a prediction based on what I know. To the listener of either one of these sentences, it doesn't make a darn bit of difference. No listener is going to analyze your intention when you're using verb tenses. Nobody does that. I suppose there's a few CIA experts out there that are experts at listening to try to interpret the intention of the speaker. I suppose if you're some world-class spy going to Slovakia, or you're going there to poison the prime minister, I suppose that somebody would actually care about your intention. But in real life, nobody cares if you're predicting or planning to do something in the future. In some cases, however, it does matter because it won't make sense because something is very clearly has to be a plan, and you use will and it sounds wrong. So sometimes it does make sense. Sometimes it's important to know which verb tense. We use will when we, for example, as well, future simple, when we make an offer. I will pick up your sister at the airport. Oh no, there's no one to pick up my sister, and then you suddenly say, I will pick up your sister. Okay, if you said, I'm going to pick up your sister, it would be very confusing. Because what you're saying is before you knew his sister was stranded, you had planned to pick up his sister. It makes you sound like some kind of stalker or something, and it would sound very, very strange. So, there. That was very wordy, but I hope you got the idea. Yes, there is a difference, but does it matter? Only to the speaker, not really to the listener. Okay, Ken has joined us, so I just want to say hi to Ken.
Yes,
hey, Ken.
hello.
Hello, hello. Hang on, Ken. I'm going to come right back to you. Ileana, do you have a sentence example to show talking about using present continuous for the near future?
Near future. Okay, I'm going to translate some articles.
Okay, well that is a simple future tense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tomorrow.
Okay. Okay, so this is
today.
not present continuous.
Oh, it's just okay. Yes, it's just
See, this is
using going to. Yes, like a phrasal.
Yes, it gets confusing with your. That's right. If you're going to use the verb to be, going to, and the verb, that's simple future tense. It's confusing in this earlier one. That's the reason I said it was confusing is because this really is a present continuous because work is actually a noun here, not a verb.
Yeah.
A place, work. Okay. All right.
So
how can you convert this one from future tense to present continuous, which you could? Quite easily.
I'm translating.
That's it. Simple enough. Okay. That's it. I'm translating some articles tomorrow. That's it.
So that means that I've just begun to do it. Yeah. So right now I'm in progress. No, not right now, but I mean.
Nope. This means just like this. It's a future intention.
Like a plan.
Yep. There's actually no difference in your first sentence and your second sentence. There's no difference whatsoever.
Yeah.
We tend to use present continuous when it's tomorrow, very soon. We tend to use simple future with going to if it's farther away than a week, or what we perceive to be the near future.
Okay, so when it is about near future, it's better to use continuous than going to.
Really, again, I really have to say, it really doesn't matter. No one will ever notice, ever. And both are grammatically correct. Really doesn't matter, but I'm just saying people tend to naturally use present continuous if it's near future. Tend to use it. Future tense when it's longer. Oh, okay. All right. Ken, you want to try forming a sentence to talk about the near future?
Near future. I'm having dinner after this class.
Okay. Is planning on having dinner after this class. Yep. That's very good. This would be very normal use of present continuous to talk about the future. Good job. Okay. Well, repetition and irritation with always. Well, okay. More repetition, irritation, surprise is better. Okay. Something that happens over and over again. Hang on. All right. Let's talk about this. The present continuous, usually, well, with words such as always or constantly, expresses the idea that something irritating or shocking often happens, or unusual. Now, I don't agree with this next part. Notice that the meaning is like simple present. That I agree with, but with negative emotion. This can be used for positive things, and I will demonstrate in a minute. It is possible. It is usually, here, I'm going to edit this right now, usually with negative emotion, but it doesn't have to be. The key is to remember to use always or constantly between be and, well, and verb and ing. Well, you need to put it where the adverb goes. It's not a big secret. So, all right, looking at the examples, she is always coming late to class. All right, we have is coming. This is present continuous tense. We're saying this to show, as the diagram states, she repeatedly in the past has shown up late. Probably today she is late. In the future we expect she will be late. And the irritating part of it, you would hear this in conversational English with the intonation. She's always coming late to class, usually exaggerating the adverb. All right, next example. He is constantly talking. I wish he would just shut up. All right, here we're clearly showing annoyance, and it is very often used to show annoyance. I don't like them because they're always complaining. But look, it is possible to use it in a positive way. For example, she is always smiling. Okay, there's nothing wrong with this sentence right here. She's always smiling. It's different. It's still surprising, shocking, slightly shocking. It's unusual, but it's not negative. So it does not have to be negative. I really like Suzanne. She's always smiling. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that sentence right there. Okay. Let's give this one a try. To talk about something that somebody does over and over again, which is their normal behavior. Actually, this is kind of similar to the idea of the longer now. It's but usually talking about behavior, things that people do, or the way they act. All right, let's give it a try. Tatiana?
He's always smoking after breakfast.
Okay.
Isn't I'm sorry.
Sure.
It looks like a habit. So isn't it better
Yeah.
to use the present simple?
Okay. Again, the reason that we do this is to exaggerate the surprisingness of the irritatingness. How irritating it is, or how surprising it is. All right. It's used for that reason, to add emphasis. Is it correct to say he always smokes after breakfast? Yes, it's perfectly correct and perfectly normal. And in spoken language, there would be a very noticeable intonation change. Who cares? He always smokes after breakfast. You would say that in a normal voice. He's always smoking after breakfast. It's so freaking annoying. There would be an extremely noticeable difference in how you would say this. Okay.
It's hard to be very careful with this phrase with continuous. So, about person. I mean, about when you're speaking about person. So
yeah, you're saying to a person. You notice in all of these, you're talking about a person when they're not there. She's not around. She's always coming to class late, gossiping. All right. He's constantly talking. I wish he would shut up. You're not saying it to them. You're not saying you are constantly talking. I wish you would shut up.
Sometimes.
But you could. Well, I was just going to say, you could. You definitely could. You are always complaining.
Yeah, and it will be like something rude, yeah. So
certainly confrontational. Most certainly.
Confrontation.
Absolutely. Certainly. Yes, it would. Okay. All right. Well, let's see here. Okay. Well, we've only got 10 minutes, and I've got some other things to show you. Maybe we can come back to this. Maybe not. But does anybody have any questions about this use of using present continuous to show surprising, or something surprising or something annoying? Even in the positive. I like Joanne. She's always smiling. All right, even that would show a difference in intonation. Okay.
I like the lessons. You are always joking.
Yeah, I can't help it. I can't help it. Well, thank you very much, Leon. A great example. All right, there's a couple points that I have to unfortunately bring up to confuse you with. Sorry about that. My apologies beforehand, but it needs to be said. You need to remember when you're talking about continuous verb tenses. You need to know, you need to remember that there are some verbs which just simply can never be used with any continuous tenses, past, present, future, perfect, simple, whatever. Passive, it cannot be done. These verbs are verbs, generally speaking, verbs that describe a state, or they are stative verbs. They describe how things are in our universe, or how they are largely perceived to be, or how they are for us personally, like our emotions, like love and hate. I really can't say, I am hating you. Although you will hear this in popular culture, in things like in movies, in advertising, in song lyrics. They do this all the time. Strictly speaking, grammatically, it's just wrong, wrong, wrong. You will hear in the movies somebody say, I am hating you right now, girl. Yeah, you will. And popular American culture, this is becoming more and more normal. But strictly speaking, grammatically, it's way wrong. You cannot use hate, love, like, adore, and these verbs with ing. Also, things that show ownership, own, have, possess. You can't say, I am possessing a car. You really are not supposed to do that in English. There are other ones, too, that have to deal with, again, stative things, usually abstract things, usually. Know. You know something. All right. You can't say, I am knowing about continuous tenses. That, if you said that, that means you're not. Because you would know that you can't do that. All right, these are called non-continuous verbs. Mixed verbs are simply verbs where one meaning it's okay and one meaning it's not. Fear, jot, I am fearing. Oh, God, I hate these things. Okay, I am fearing the cold weather. To use, okay. Sometimes it's very difficult, Joel, because this, I don't know. I'm not sure, frankly, if it's grammatically correct or not. What I do know is that this is a very common phrase for American English speakers. Yeah. Oh, I'm fearing the cold weather. I'm fearing it. It's very common. Is it technically speaking grammatically correct? I'm not sure. Okay, anyway, mixed verbs are verbs like have, meaning ownership. You can say, I am having a party, meaning hosting a party, next weekend, all right, in the near future. But you cannot say, I am having a car, meaning possessing. It's not possible. The verb to be is a mixed verb. The children are being naughty, being bad. That means behaving, how someone is acting. They're acting bad. But you can't say the sky is being blue. That doesn't make sense. The sky is blue. That's the state it is. So you can't use the verb to be in a continuous with that definition. So mixed verbs, there's a lot of mixed verbs, by the way. So there you go. She is loving this chocolate ice cream. Again, in popular culture, especially American culture, you definitely would hear this. She is loving this chocolate ice cream, girlfriend. Woo! It's just not right. But there it is. It should be, she loves this chocolate ice cream. Okay.
Can I ask a question?
Sure. Yeah.
Is there a nuance difference? She's loving or she loves?
Sorry, could you ask that again? Couldn't understand.
Is there a nuance difference?
Nuance.
Nuance, yes.
Well, first of all, the one subtle nuance of using she is loving is that you're going to piss off every grammar teacher that ever lived. That's one subtle nuance. A second one, it tends to be a little more exaggerated. Look, the McDonald's.
Oh yeah, I'm loving it.
McDonald's slogan. I'm loving it. Okay, I'm loving it. I'll be loving you. It's in songs. It's in popular culture. Is there a nuance, a subtle difference? Not really. It's not supposed to exist at all. So, not really. Sometimes she's loving this chocolate ice cream. Notice how much emphasis I added. So I guess it could be a little stronger or used to show emphasis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is clearly the reason McDonald's is using it, Ken, right?
Okay.
If you think about it, must be. Yeah. Okay. Quick word about adverb placement. You are still watching TV. Here's where it belongs when you use adverbs of frequency, adverbs which are modifying the verb, are always safe here in front of the main verb, regardless of the verb tense. They're safe. Sometimes you can move them around, and sometimes the sentence won't make any sense when you move them around. Sometimes it will change the meaning of the sentence. So be careful with your adverbs. It's always safe here. This is home in your garage. Your car is safe here. Okay, and we've only got a couple minutes, so I've got to show you the passive. All right. We've looked plenty at the active. Right now, Tom is writing the letter. This very second, Tom, the subject noun, is doing the action to the object noun, the letter. The action is happening to the letter, the object noun. In a passive sentence, the letter, which is now the subject, the action is happening to the subject now. The letter is being written. Bye, Tom. Goodbye, Tom. We can get rid of bye, Tom. It doesn't really matter, because when we use a passive because we don't care who did the action, we don't know who did the action, or it's very obvious without saying so who did the action. So you don't need it. Right now the letter's being written. I don't care who's writing it. Notice the structure of the verb. Always, every passive, no matter past, simple, present, perfect, progressive, whatever it is, the main verb in a passive sentence will always be the past participle. Okay, in front of that past participle of the main verb, you will see the verb to be reflecting the verb tense. Is writing, is being. Okay, see how this reflects the active is writing, is being. This is how passives work. We use the verb to be to reflect what the verb tense is, and then the main passive is always, the main verb is always past participle of the verb. So, okay, that is all. That is all we have time for, unfortunately, today. Tomorrow, we'll look at the past progressive or past continuous. Thank you very much, everyone. See you again.